Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 1930.
It started with a letter, a manor,
Don't you see what this means for Downton?
a family standing at the edge of change.
Is it really as bad as you say?
But no one could have predicted we were witnessing the birth of a global phenomenon.
Whatever happens, we'll make it work.
And now, more than a decade later, we return one last time. I'm Jacqueline Crawley, and this is Downton Abbey, the official podcast. In this episode, we look ahead to the grand finale, a film that brings this extraordinary story full circle.
This film is about the family.
It's funny and quite sad.
Future of Downton is at stake.
I'm here with Hugh Bonneville and Elizabeth McGovern. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Nice to see you.
I'm so excited for fans to get to see this third and final installment. I can't think of what this 16-year journey has been for all of you, but I'd love for you to preview a little bit, or what you think fans can expect.
It's done for the fans. We have appreciated the loyalty of our audience so much over these years. And it set out to be for the fans, but I think it's ended up being a movie for all of us because it takes all the characters and lovingly gives them a last postscript into the future.
I don't mind admitting it. After tonight, I'll be ready to go back to Downton. The London season's endless. I'm worn out.
You enjoy the season, you know it.
What I love about it is it's got no huge overreaching plot. It's really about the thing that I've always loved most about Downton, which is the tapestry of these lives intersecting and how this system worked for everybody, and the alignments, the misalignments, the misunderstandings, the love, the affection, the bitterness, and all these things that were always simmering beneath the surface of this particular group in a time that is far gone and has a lot to offer that the modern world has lost. So it's quite sad. I think there's very few of us who've seen the screening without crying. I don't know if that's just us, but you know, we've lived with the characters for so long and fallen in love with each other and with them.
And yes, we cried too, because I've seen it and I wept like a babe. But for you, Hugh, what can you sort of preview for fans and what they can expect in this last one?
Well, I suppose, just to double down on what Elizabeth said, the sense of farewell, of closure, of wrapping up the stories of these characters, giving you a hint of the way this particular chapter's come to an end and what the future may hold.
Things change, my lord, and somehow we must change with them.
Very true.
And there are no massive storylines. We don't go into space or anything like that. So it's really about the intricacies, as Elizabeth says, of the dynamics between the characters. In terms of story, there's always some crisis at stake, and in this case, the roof of Downton Abbey is, as ever, beginning to leak, and how on earth are we going to cope?
High octane.
High octane, yes.
Important stuff, though.
Yeah.
It's really,
we all have a leaky roof at one point. Yeah.
But actually, no, the future of Downton is at stake, and the sources of funds that we've long anticipated is at risk, and so there is that motoring on in the background. And how do we pay for the upkeep of this central character of our story, which is Downton Abbey itself?
Things could be a lot worse. I made the decisions.
Why didn't you share them with me? And why didn't you tell me when it was all going wrong?
You put me in charge.
God's sake, Harold. Don't you see what this means for Downton?
There's another thing that's also sort of previewed in the little bit that dripped out about this, and that is Mary's divorce. And were you shocked when you found that was going to be happening, Hugh? Like, when did you find out about this?
Yes, it's always been hinted at that the marriage of Mary and Henry Talbot was not set fair. And so to open with that being a bubbling scandal in the background, which then suddenly bursts into the consciousness of society, it really highlights, where we were then and where we are now. At least 3 of the major royals are divorced. In those days, you weren't allowed to be in the company of a royal if you were divorced.
Prince and Princess Arthur of Connaught are on their way, and the princess simply cannot be in the same room as a divorced woman. I do apologize, but Lady Mary must go now.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous. in my
Papa, it's
life.
all right. I'll go.
And, you know, it's mentioned once or twice how America, of course, is far more relaxed about these things than the stuffy old Brits. And so that comes into play in quite an interesting way as well.
In some ways, I'm glad of this divorce story because a lot of the time with Downton, you look at it and think, oh, I wish we were back then. Everything was so simple and people were more polite. But then you're reminded that actually there are some things that were just so restrictive.
Yeah. I'm curious if you can talk about y'all's relationship and how it's evolved, because I think the Robert and Cora that have this scandal in the third film are very different in the series, or even in the first film.
Yeah.
It's interesting, just going back to that point about how the divorce impacts the family and society. In the early stages of the script development, I remember pushing back and saying, surely, you know, because the family is now so supportive of Mary, there's a ball that we go to and Mary leaves. I said, surely Robert and Cora should leave with her because it's really important to show solidarity with their daughter. And actually, Julian really quite rightly pointed out that, no, the way society works is, you know, you have to stay. You cannot be seen to be breaking the mores of society. You do not leave until royalty leaves the party. And just to go back to your point then, your real question was, you know, would the Robert and Cora of the beginning of the entire series react in the same way as they do now? I think Robert probably wouldn't react in the same way.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, I think
the first season, Robert would have stayed at that party.
Yes, he wouldn't have thought twice about it and would have said, well, of course I'm staying, it's the right thing to do. Whereas I think the Robert that's evolved, or I wanted to get across, was that he actually understood the modernization of family values, if you like, and that family means more than the structure of society, even for someone like him. And that actually becomes the pleasurable part of the plot as we go on, of how to bring society round to a more modern way of thinking.
This is Mary's time. She's in step with how to run this estate in the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s.
And I'm not.
You know this system doesn't work if people hold on too long.
I'm pleasantly surprised you think the system works at all.
None of this would be possible without the man behind it all, creator and writer Julian Fellowes. Next up, he shares why he felt there was still one last chapter to write and what ultimately drew him back to Downton one last time.
Well, of course, they were ready to say goodbye to Downton at the end of the last film because they were obliged to say goodbye to Maggie, who had a funeral rivaling Winston Churchill's as the picture came to an end. We wanted to make the point that this may be the end of a member of the family, but it wasn't the end of the family. And these families have a kind of unit life where they continue willy-nilly. Whoever is born, whoever dies, on they go. And I wanted to make the point that those families of this type who survived into the modern world, where they were no longer in charge, they had to kind of redefine themselves and get used to the modern world and see if they could live with the modern world. Some rather spectacularly could not, even though I'm not going to name any names. But I would like to feel that the Crawleys are one of the surviving families who have come to terms with the modern world. And really, we see them now in the early 30s, where the world is turning into the modern world. So really what you notice about this film, the first film was all about the royal visit and the king and queen at Downton, and the second one making a movie, and the movie stars and the rest of it, and that was, if you like, a sort of trailer for the modern world. But this film is about the family. We are leaving them now to go their own way.
Papa, what's the matter with you?
And the realization that his days as king of the castle are coming to an end.
Oh.
This is the end of the original cast of Downton. We've had a 15-year journey in real life, and we've only had something like an 18-year journey in fiction. So things have moved on a bit. But I think it is the end for them, but of course not the end for them as real people. And I think that's one of the jobs of the film, that we, the audience, can say goodbye to the players and say goodbye to the characters, but they're not saying goodbye to each other, because hopefully they're living on, you know, into the 50s and 60s and a very different world.
At the end of a career, you look back more than you did and think about all the changes you've witnessed.
Shall we raise a glass to Mr. Carson?
Yes.
Mr. Carson.
At the heart of Downton Abbey is Lady Mary, poised, determined, and never afraid to ruffle a few feathers. In the grand finale, Michelle Dockery returns as Mary, facing scandal and heartbreak with trademark steel. Recently, Michelle reflected on Mary's courage, resilience, and what it means to lead Downton Abbey into a new era.
At the start of the film, she is almost no longer Lady Mary Talbot, because Mary is slightly in denial that she is about to go through a divorce. We find her in a good place, and she's about to have one last great evening before the sky falls in. She's fiercely independent, and she is normally the belle of the ball, and in those social circles she has such a status. So it's quite shocking to see Mary thrown out of a party.
What will you do?
I'll take a taxi, if I can find one that will carry a divorced woman. I guess as a modern woman, you can't quite fathom that that's what the attitudes of the people around her would be, but it was. And so the divorce has opened up a new chapter in her life, a daunting one. But I think she has the strength to get through anything that's thrown at her. She's ready to embark on something new. And for Robert, it's time to hang up his hat, and that's difficult, but she knows it's the right time. So we see that journey throughout the film. Families like ours must keep moving to survive. One day, George will say it's time for me to go. I won't be spared either.
You're not very sentimental, are you?
The hereditary system can't afford to be sentimental.
This episode is brought to you by Story Rabbit. Downton Abbey swept us away with its grandeur and intrigue, but behind the screen, the real locations hold centuries of history. The Story Rabbit app puts those stories in your headphones, bringing castles, English manners, and iconic sites around the world to life through audio. Wherever you are, Story Rabbit helps you uncover the true stories hidden all around you. Download the Story Rabbit app today, or go to storyrabbit.app for more info and uncover the true stories hidden all around you. Next up, I sat down with Joanne Froggatt, who plays Anna, Mary's loyal confidant, to hear how she sees this final chapter unfolding. I am back, and we're here with Joanne Froggatt here, who plays Anna Bates, our beloved Anna Bates.
Thank you.
So much from just Anna, which is how we met you, and now 16 years later, an entire series and 3 films, we're now saying goodbye in the grand finale. How are you feeling?
Wow, so many emotions, actually. I watched the film, the grand finale, I watched last week. We had a little screening, and there was a few of the cast there. And I was really emotional. I really cried at the end. And it was a mixture of, the film's really beautiful.
Yeah.
It leaves things in a really beautiful place. It's really heartwarming and poignant. So there's that. But also, obviously, from a personal side, it's been 15/16 years of our lives that we've worked together. And it feels like such a full circle moment. And then also, I don't really, talk about my private life, but it's very obvious that I'm pregnant in the film. And so Anna's character of Anna is pregnant. So to see my unborn child on the screen and see Anna's kind of final journey being the beginning of a new journey in my life. I'm going to get emotional about it. It was just a real full circle moment, and it was just a really beautiful way to end a special part of my life.
When the baby's born, might you consider being the godmother?
I should be honored.
One of the things I remarked when I was watching it is seeing the dynamic between Anna and Mary. They've had so many chapters of both triumph and tribulation. I feel like Anna is doing a lot of managing of Lady Mary in this one.
Anna and Lady Mary have always had a very special relationship, and they've helped each other. Anna more so with Lady Mary. But actually, you know,
that's
been
yeah.
absolutely returned, and some in many ways. You know, when Mr. Bates was in prison, when Anna was in prison, when Anna was pregnant. There's been a manner
when Anna had her baby,
when
quite
Anna
literally.
had her baby in Lady Mary's bed.
Yes.
I mean, if that's not a friend, I don't know what is.
Seriously, and those roles, I think that's what I was really remarking on, is it's not even a question now. She just knows to be there for her without even really discussing it.
That's it, and they are so close like that. I think they are there for each other in that way, and Lady Mary has reciprocated that at times as well. And there is a sort of an unspoken sort of rule between them that that they're there for each other, and Anna is completely loyal to Lady Mary and has huge respect for her.
You must tell me when it's too much for you. I can always share Baxter with Mama until the baby's born.
This time yet. And anyway, I've done it before. Right. I think that's everything, milady.
There's interesting reactions to Lady Mary's scandal, from indifference to shock to anger. What do you think fans are going to react to? Just because, let's be honest, Mary's been flirting with scandal since the very first season, from Mr. Pamuk. Sorry, sis, we saw it. Now it's finally come. It's finally really happened. How do you think fans are going to react to seeing what she does when she's really put on her back foot?
I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? Because looking at it from modern eyes in, you know, the parts of the world we're lucky enough to be born in, where we have these freedoms as a given, looking back to 1930 as a woman in that situation, I was mildly terrified by it, thinking, oh my goodness, that wasn't that long ago. And was that what we were all destined for, a life of being a social pariah because you were a woman that was divorced? And it's interesting that it's the woman that's divorced, not the man, just the woman.
Henry
but obviously
Talbot.
both of them have to be divorced, but it's just the woman who is socially unaccepted.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm glad times have changed.
A little bit. And listen, we're not going to...
For the better. For the better. We're still going. We're still going. Still got a way to go.
What do the servants know?
They knew it was coming, and tonight they know it's happened. It was in the evening news.
So I gather. Was it bad?
No.
From the quiet strength of Anna to the ever-stoic Mr. Carson, next I spoke with Jim Carter, whose take on returning to Downton is as sharp and funny as Carson's collar is stiff. Hello, everyone. We are back, and I am here with Mr. Jim Carter, who plays Mr. Carson. Thank you so much for joining me.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you.
I'm so excited to chat with you. As I tell people, I've been in love with Downton Abbey since it was a promo on Masterpiece Theater. I've just been completely obsessed. But what has it been like for you to play a man so, I think, sort of rooted in tradition? That was his life's work for however many years, and now he's sort of ending it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was great on many levels. I mean, it was the success of the TV show and the films was fantastic. But to play Carson, who's kind of the moral centre of the piece, that he sticks up for tradition and the way things are done, and I kind of understood him. I mean, I'm a fan of good manners and politeness myself, and I'm a big fan of kindness. I think that's got a place in the world. Not to be underestimated. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the fact that it was laced with humour as well. So, I mean, Carson could be quite stuffy and pompous. Quite right. But there was humour in it, and if he got too pompous, then Mrs. Hughes would always bring him down to earth. So that made it kind of more human, but a curmudgeon with heart. No one knows how to behave anymore.
That's harsh.
Plenty of the gentry lived with husbands and wives who were difficult or boring or just plain nasty. And what do you think they did? They put it in their kit bag and they kept on marching.
What do you think fans are going to be most excited to see in the grand finale? Or what do you think they're most looking forward to in this final chapter?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, hopefully it's a chance, because it's announced there's the grand finale, so there's no joking about there aren't going to be any more. So they probably want to sort of get a chance to say goodbye to characters that they've, as you have, enjoyed for getting on for 15 years or something like this. And it's also, I think, a chance to say goodbye to Maggie. because Maggie was central to the whole thing. When I was first told that there was this period drama, I thought, yeah, okay. And then they said Maggie Smith's doing it. I thought, Maggie Smith's doing it, then that's a stamp of approval. Let's be part of that. So it's a chance to say goodbye to her as well.
Yeah, no, I definitely, and you feel that watching it. And as much as all of the cast are a part of the show, you are still the most recognizable. I think it's the voice and your height and everything. What has someone said to you in relation to the show that has made the biggest impact on you?
Well, it's sort of, a lot of people just, love the show and stuff like that. And you're right. I mean, I get recognized. My voice gives me away. But the first time I realized the impact of the show was in Manhattan, in fact. We were out there to advertise the second series, and I was walking down one of the avenues, and a voice said, "I recognize those eyebrows." And I thought, oh, correctly, the eyebrows are recognizable. But it's after COVID, when we were in lockdown here, and several people said to me then, oh, it was such a relief to watch Downton because we could just switch off and relax, like getting into a warm bath. And it sort of meant something emotional to people, a bit more than just sort of a bit of entertainment to pass an hour. It meant a lot to people, and it's those moments that are very nice. I get a lot of people saying their mothers and that more likely their grandmothers love me. They never do. It's always their mothers and their grandmothers.
Philistines.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Watch the show. It's quite good.
The biggest shock to me was when I got the part, because I auditioned like everyone else, and I was told I had got it. And I met another actor, and he said, "Oh, I'm furious. You got the only old man's part in Downton Abbey." I said, "What?" I was livid.
I need to show him the TikTok fan edits of Mr. Carson, because I don't think anybody making those fan edits thought he was an old man. How dare he?
I'm curious, yes.
Dare he? He was just jealous. It's a good part.
He was jealous, yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Listen, I wasn't trying to say that you were like cold and bitter, but you're British. Literally, before we started this interview, and I'm like, it's such the American thing. I've had people that have done one moment on a TV show and they stole something. I was like, did you take anything from your set? You're like, I am a professional. I'm like, I get it.
This thing of people steal, I've never heard of it before, stealing things from the set. No, good God. I kept my shoes, but then they were my own shoes anyway, because the period shoes were too uncomfortable. And I said to the costume designer, if there's a close-up of my shoes, I'll put your uncomfortable ones. Otherwise, forget it. So I wore the same comfy shoes for 6 series and 2 films, yeah.
However many years later.
I've enjoyed a good life in your service, my lord.
I hope so. You've run the house well, of course, but I believe you've made it a happy place, too. That's important to me.
We were well suited to each other, my lord, which was our good fortune. What a tragedy.
From the Titanic to the tabloids, Downton Abbey has always balanced tradition and transformation. In this final film, we see that balance tested one last time across generations and time itself.
Action!
This season, we're going behind the scenes with the beloved cast and crew uncovering secrets.
Harold's screwed up horribly. He's put them in terrible financial straits.
Surprises.
That's why I became an actor.
I love it.
Are you serious?
And the stories that have made Downton one of the most enduring dramas of our time.
That's the moment where the baton is really passed.
From the final bows to the unexpected twists, you won't want to miss a beat. A huge thank you to all of my guests today. Make sure to check out Downton Abbey, the grand finale, only in theaters September 12th. I'm Jacqueline Coley. This has been Downton Abbey, the official podcast. Until next time. To get new episodes one day early and for other Downton Abbey exclusives, be sure to sign up for free to be a Focus Insider at focusinsider.com. The Focus Features Experience Sweepstakes. See Downton Abbey, the grand finale, plus one more film to start earning rewards. Watch all 5 for a chance at the ultimate cinephile experience and invite to 2 Focus Features film premieres around the world. Downton Abbey, the official podcast, is a production of Focus Features and Treefort Media. I'm your host, Jacqueline Coley. From Focus Features, our executive producers are Angela Vesagas and Jocelyn Brown. From Treefort Media, our executive producers are Kelly Garner and Mary Chalenza. Our lead editor is Martin Applebaum. Our lead audio engineer is Matt Dyson. Our associate producers are Aidan Brooks and Jada Williams. Additional engineering provided by Jeff Neal and Anthony Laurie. Additional production support provided by Mia Fernandez and Gabriel Skolansky. Special thanks to Julian Fellows, Gareth Mean, Liz Trubridge, Carnival Films, Jam 96, PMA Film and TV, and Framework Studios.